Welcome to Dating and Relationship Advice. We're going to talk about someone new that I have, and we're going to talk about experiences in dating and what would make me or you a great catch in a profile or in a relationship. Oh, and I wanted to introduce Melissa. Hey, Melissa, how's it going?
Good.
That's it? Just good? That's all you got? Okay, so I wanted to get your opinion on, so what's your, I'm sure you have some stories on dating.
Yes, plenty of them.
So I'd be interested, because everybody knows on my podcast what my experiences are. So what's your experiences? Do you have any good stories?
Let's see.
That we can both laugh about.
So, went out on a first date with this guy that I met online, of course, and met him at a bar, and 5 minutes in, he starts crying and starts talking about how his ex-wife is taking his kids and the cops are always being called on him, and I'm not talking he's like just a little crying. I mean, he's boo-hooing, tears.
So I would have thought
the whole entire date.
he was the one. As soon as he started crying, that is my man.
It was a total red flag. So it doesn't stop there, though. So I don't hear from him at all, and nor did I care to. I'm on another date, and I'm at a Mexican restaurant. It's 4th of July, and we're sitting at the bar area, and all of a sudden I feel what I think is the waiter just going past me and accidentally bumped me. And my date says, "That guy just tapped you on the shoulder, or tapped you on the back." And I look, and it's the boohoo guy.
Oh.
And he sits at the end of the bar, and the waitress comes over and she says, "The gentleman at the end of the bar would like to buy you and your date a drink." I was like, "Sure, thanks." I never turned around once. I didn't even make eye contact with him. And I let my date know who he was. And I apologized because it was quite embarrassing. He tried to, when he left, he walked past us, and there was the emergency exit. And then he realized it was the emergency exit, so he turned around and had to walk all the way back to the front door. And then as we were leaving, he was sitting out on the curb and watched us walk down the street.
Oh, he was waiting for you.
Yeah. Thank God I didn't have to call the cops on him. I never seen him, heard from him, nothing.
So what was the length of time between that date and...
A week.
Just a week? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's still fresh.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one date.
Yeah. But
Like-
he had so much emotion for you. You were like
he
so
had a lot
sexy.
of emotions, for sure.
You were so sexy. He just wanted you.
No, that's not it.
So he didn't get the hint where after you deleted your profile?
No, I deleted him, that's for sure. I was afraid I was going to have issue, but he didn't reach out, he didn't do anything. So.
Well, that was nice. At least you got a good drink out of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean.
So did your other date, I mean, what did he say?
He was cool with it all, but yeah, we just didn't. It wasn't going to work for us. We didn't go on a second date, so I kind of have an issue with going to the second date. So yeah, when I see the first red flag, it's like,
oh, you're like, goodbye.
yeah.
So would you say that you're really picky?
I would say that I'm not really picky. I just know what I want. So, I mean, my preference of what a man looks like is, no, he doesn't have to have muscles. In fact, I don't like guys that have big muscles. It's uncomfortable. It's, I like the dad bod. That's what I like. So, but it just could be because I'm 48. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the dad belly.
As long as you don't get Dickie Doos disease, that's all.
What is that? Dickie Doos?
Yeah, where your dick hangs over further than your Dickie Doo.
Oh, I never heard of that. Wait a minute. What what is that? Your what?
Where your belly hangs over further than your Dickie Doo. Like if you stick your dick out, if your stomach is hanging further over and you can't see your dick.
Oh. Oh, I call that having an apron.
That's what guys call that for girls. That's a girl's term.
Oh, okay. Like if you have an apron.
Fanny pack.
It's like, oh my god. That's terrible. Dickie Doo. That's a new one for me.
No, that's old.
Really?
Like my biological dad told me that one. Yeah. He always had some good funny ones.
Oh, that's funny.
Let me think about some other funny dates. I had one guy, I showed up to meet him at a restaurant, and he was surprised that I showed up. And he said, most of them don't. It's like, God, like, right there it was negativity.
Is it because of the way he looked, or what?
No, he wasn't a bad-looking guy. It was just that his whole personality, the whole, just right out of the gate, he's like, oh, I'm surprised you showed. Like, I was early, So,
Okay.
But he was used to that, and that's just, that's not attractive. Negativity is just not attractive. So, guys, if you're out there, don't complain right out of the gate.
No, I've had the same thing where a lot of them didn't show up, or I had to keep on reinforcing. It's like, oh yeah, we're meeting today, and kind of remind them, even though we already made plans.
Well, see, that just
the same day.
I guess I'm just a different girl.
That's weird.
Yeah, or what I would hear from a lot of guys is that your real name, and it's like, well, why would I give you a different name? And they're like, you'd be surprised, and I'm like,
yeah, a lot of women do that.
Why?
They don't put their real name on there. I've seen that.
I just think that's crazy to me. Like how, or maybe I'm just out there for a different reason. I mean, I'm out there to hopefully bump into someone that
Well, see, like back then, people played games at the bar. I mean, before the date sites or
Right.
anything else, at least I still heard stories at the bar. Mm-hmm. It's like people took their wedding rings off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's the same thing, but it's now it's virtual,
right.
where they're virtually taking their ring off and saying they're single when they're really married.
Right.
I've had a bunch of those days.
Me too. Had a 5-year relationship with one.
Yeah, I had a 4-year relationship with one.
And
then I had a 10-year relationship with another one that was
Yeah.
married.
Yeah. So, it's really tough to just weed them out. So that's why, if you want to say that I'm picky, I'm just trying to be realistic, like what I'm looking for. Like, I don't want to play games with anyone. And, and I appreciate when my date tells me, you know what, this isn't going to work. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being honest and not just ghosting me, Or, that doesn't feel good to the self-esteem. You just start getting bitter and cold to that kind of comment.
Yeah, but if you've been out with so many different dates, is it really your responsibility to tell them that you're not really interested or there wasn't a connection to every single person?
I mean, I believe so. I mean, otherwise that person's just hanging, going, oh, well, okay, so I take that back. If neither one of you have called in 3 days after your date, I get the hint. There's no words need to be said. That kind of says it all.
Well, I mean, I get it on a different level. So if I don't make the effort to communicate, they think I'm not interested. It doesn't go the other way. It's like, I'm waiting for them to communicate and waiting for them to talk to me, and they never do. So I'm the one who has to say, hey, good morning, or I'm the one who has to ask questions, and then they don't, and that becomes a problem.
Well, girls go through the same thing. I get the same thing. And that's when you just move on to the next one. Like, I told my mom, I will kiss 100 frogs till I find my prince. I don't care. It doesn't mean I'm sleeping with any of these guys.
Right.
But,
yeah.
How else are you going to meet somebody? I'm not out hanging at bars. I don't really drink, so where are you going to meet someone? So, of course, the convenience of online, and you have to weed them out, So...
Well, I mean, there are other places. Some people say there's grocery stores, but still you can't tell.
I hate the grocery store.
I don't like it either. And then there's...
I'm very impatient, so people in my way, I'm just like, get the hell out of my way. I want my food to get out.
Yeah, I can just see you.
I feel like I'm in traffic.
You're turning people around. Are you married? Okay, next. Let's go down that way. There's some cute guy over there by the milk.
No.
Are you married?
So, back home in Colorado, I come from a small town. Mm-hmm. And there was a half page of the front ad of the newspaper, And it was looking for love, looking to get married, and we've seen those all over, like in Arizona, people putting signs on their vehicles, looking for,
You mean an individual put an ad?
Yes. He put a full half-page ad,
Oh my God.
looking for the one,
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I'm like, well, this guy must be so totally serious because this is like a half page and this is a small town. Like, who is this guy? Mm-hmm. So my coworkers are like, oh, Melissa will do it. Give it to her, So I did. I emailed the thing, the email that was on there. And I had to see what this was all about, And communicated, he sent pictures. He was from another country. So then I'm even more intrigued. And it's not because I think I'm going to find love. I want to know what's the story here because this guy is not, there's something fishy, My senses come. But I play along, and he sends me 3 dozen roses, and they were from April's Garden, and that's a local shop, and those flowers were not cheap. He spent about $300-400 on those.
So did he know what you look like or anything? Did he talk to you at this point?
Yes, we were talking on the phone.
Oh, okay.
So what? But the first red flag was, and this is what got me, continuing on to see what the whole deal was that he was doing. He said that he was from the Netherlands or something like that. But I work with Olga, and it's clearly a Russian accent that he has. So I'm just like, yeah, this guy's already line number 1, So, anyways, get these roses and stuff like that. Well, like a day or two later, he calls and he says that he's in Italy, that he's in Italy.
Oh.
And that he got mugged and they took all his money and that he needed to get back to the States. Could I please send him $4,000? And I was like, I told you I don't have money. And he goes, I send you roses. I tell you I love you. So obviously it was a scam. So I put into Google this email address that he's using. Mm-hmm. And apparently he's been doing it all over the world. He was actually deemed the international love rat.
Okay.
And so this is what he does, is all these scams to get money from women. So you got to be careful of who's out there, Of course I didn't fall for it.
Yeah, Melissa will do it. Like, what? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've encountered some weird stuff. I'm sure you have too.
Oh, yeah. Plenty. I mean, I was, somebody wanted to scam me, but I played along. You probably don't know the story. But, yeah, it's on another podcast. But, did you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't think of me badly.
I won't.
Because I was bored. I mean, a single guy, no woman in sight to go out with. So, why not see what's out there? So, let's rewind back. Let's see. I went to New Jersey for a week. It's for work training.
Okay.
And I was going through a date site, flipping through to see what was in the area. I swiped on a bunch of people, and I heard nothing for a week. So I flew back to Cleveland from New Jersey, and that's about 3 hours away driving, maybe. Yeah, if you drove there, that'd be like a 3-hour drive. So all of a sudden, I get a response, and it's a lady. She claimed that she was 32 years old, and she goes, "Do you know where I'm at, right? Because on my profile it says what location I'm at." And she goes, "Yeah, I know you're about 3 hours away." And I'm like, "Does that matter?" And she goes, "No, that doesn't matter." She started talking about herself. I mean, we shared things back and forth. She told me that her mother died.
This isn't the double chin lady, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, she's... Oh, so you heard that episode. No, you didn't listen to this episode. So she said that her mother died a long time ago. And her father just died of COVID. So now she's all by herself. And she says, she lived in New Jersey all of her life. She gave me lots of information. Eventually I said, well, why don't we meet, after talking for a while. And I go, well, I can drive to you. It's only like 3 hours. And if it doesn't work out, it'd be a nice vacation because I've already been to New Jersey and that area. And she goes, no, you don't have to do that. I'll come to you. I'll drive to you. And she goes, can you send me $150 to me so I can drive to you? And that's the first red flag.
Right.
So I go, okay, I'll send you $150. So this is what I did. So I asked her, so how do you want it? You want Western Union, PayPal, Venmo? I mean, I listed a bunch of stuff. And she picked PayPal. And conveniently, I have a company PayPal account. And it's my own company PayPal account. Not like the company I'm working for. So I write up a receipt. And she tells me what email to send it to. And so I send it there. And then I screenshot the picture before I send it. And then I Photoshop that says received and sent. And then I send her the picture. And I'm like, I'm no dummy. So since I'm bored...
Oh, good, because I really thought you were falling for that.
Really? No, I'd be the first person to pick out the red flags.
Okay.
Even though I don't say anything. I mean, I'm normally a quiet guy. And I'll just look at you, even though you're lying to me, and pretend to believe you when I know you're lying. Because I've had a girlfriend that lied through her teeth, and I just didn't say anything because it would just cause more problems. But that's probably a bad thing to do.
Anyways, yeah, I can never know what you're feeling.
Well, it's bad not to talk about, what the problems are in a relationship. But going back to this other woman. Okay, so I send her a screenshot. And I go, here you go. Here's $150. And we schedule a time, and she wants to come down on Friday, and we discuss certain things. And I was guessing that she was going to get a hotel with this money that I pretend to send her. But she goes, no, I want to stay with you. So that's the second red flag. So that's the first thing that I discovered with the double chin girl on my first episode. Where you don't meet people on the first date where they live.
Right.
You never do that. Because you don't know what to expect. Okay, so that's the other red flag. And so we're talking for like a week or so. We're trying to get to know each other. And she said she's all excited on seeing me. She doesn't know why the money's not there yet. And I'm like, well, sometimes it's just slow, transactions. And in the meantime, that email that she told me about, it was somebody else's name, but I didn't mention anything to her. So that was the third red flag. It even gets worse than that. So it's like at this point, I really need a relationship instead of play with these people. But I guess I digress. I didn't say anything about the different email name. And I tried to look her up by her name, but so many people have the common name of Smith at the end of it, or I forgot what her last name was. One of those common names.
Right.
And so then I kind of suggested, well, I'm kind of worried that, I haven't talked to you on the phone or anything, and are we able to call each other? And she goes, no.
Why?
Well, see, I didn't ask why.
Oh,
I
okay.
just kept on pressing. Every time we talked about it, it's like, well, I don't know if you're real, the next conversation.
Right.
And I kept on building on that. So then she gave in. She eventually gave in. And she said, yeah, so we'll talk on the phone. And she goes, let's download this app, which is another red flag. So she wanted me to download an old Google app. It's I think Google's first app where you can visually see each other.
Okay.
Luckily I had an old phone with that app on there, and she already had the app for some reason. So she calls me. And of course, for some reason, on the other end, it's a black screen.
Oh, right.
So I can't see her at all. But I can hear her voice. And now all of a sudden, she's talking Spanish. And I thought at one point she said she lived here all her life. And I'm like, okay. So I told her the same thing. It's like, well, you mentioned that you lived here all your life. And she goes, oh, no, I thought I told you that my parents are from Spain. And I'm like, okay, well, people who lived here all their life can speak perfect English without a heavy accent to it. But I didn't tell her that.
Oh.
But she was trying to rush me off the phone. She was saying, let's see, I just wanted you to hear my voice to see if I was real. This and that, the other thing. And then, before we hang up, she goes, I love you. Another red flag. But I didn't tell her that. I'm like, bring it, girl. Let's see what else you got. And now I'm going to stick it up your ass. No,
So what happened?
but it gets worse.
How could it get worse?
Okay, so now we've talked to each other. She rushed me off the phone and didn't see what she looked like. And she goes, well, since I didn't get my money, let's send another one. Send it to a different address this time. Maybe this other address didn't work. So she gives me a totally different address. In the meantime, I looked up that name that she originally gave me. Mm-hmm. And it was, I don't know how to describe it. It was some black lady that was a CEO of some group. I couldn't tell you what kind of group she was from, but she was from New York. At least the lady that I looked up. Because she had a unique enough name that, it pinpointed somebody there. And New Jersey is not that far away. So I kind of mentioned to her, do you think that lady that I sent it to stole your money? I'm kind of playing with her.
Right.
And she goes, no, because she's right next to me. And I'm like, oh, really?
Oh, God.
You liar. You're such a liar. But I didn't tell her that.
And then what?
She wants me to send $50 this time to a different email address. And so I write up in PayPal a receipt. I take a picture of it and then Photoshop the rest. It says received or sent, whatever it was. And then I send it to her. And I go, there you go. I spent $200 on you. Are you coming? And originally I suggested, so why don't you come over and then I can pay you in cash? She said no.
No.
Obviously.
Right.
So how many red flags is that now? 200? 5. It gets worse than that.
Oh my.
So
You sound just like me. Just keep it going because you're just.
yeah, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's fine. I did with like the stupid international love rat.
are you shit?
I just kept messing with them until. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Didn't you say you'd send him money and then just Photoshop?
No, I wasn't that clever. I would have. Definitely would have. Wish I would have thought of that.
That would have been funny. Okay, so I pretend to send her the $50, and she wouldn't go for just driving down here at all. She said, well, I'll wait for, she said she'd wait for the transaction, and, she goes, usually immediately the money comes in.
Immediately, then that's another red flag.
Well, yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe the I gave the same
Right.
excuse that I did the first time. Then again, as we're talking, as the days go on, I go, well, I still don't know if you're really real because you give me an email address of some other person instead of your email address. And then, I started telling her, certain things. And she goes, let me send you my license. This will prove. Oh, so this is what she did. She sends me a license, and there's a GIF image on top of the serial number.
Oh God.
And the date that the license was given, right in there. But it was like a time clock of when she sent it. So she sent it at 11 at night. And that sticker of the clock at 11 at night was in the perfect place where I can't look up her license. So that's another red flag. And then I'm looking at her license, and it looked like the same photo that was in the profile. It was like a glamour shot. She had blonde hair, sort of, your length, a little longer than shoulder length. And like nobody has a glamour shot. It's usually a mug shot when you're taking
absolutely.
your license, right?
Yeah.
Unless New Jersey's totally different and they require you to smile and have makeup on.
Yeah, no, I didn't think you're allowed to
And
smile anymore.
A really, really good outfit. You thought you're not allowed to smile.
Yeah. In Colorado, you're not allowed to smile.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a
And you
rule?
have to have your hair behind your back. Yeah.
Oh, they have to see the level of your earlobes?
I guess.
Just in case you shave your head?
See your neck.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
weird.
if you have glasses, you gotta take your glasses off.
Oh.
Yeah. They're real liberal over there, so.
Well, see, the other thing on this license, besides the glamour shot, was you look at the address, and it just had a street name. So
No numbers, no.
I'm looking at the street, and I'm thinking in my head, so you live on this whole street that's like 23 miles long. You have that big of a house where there is no address number. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I keep playing with her.
What does she say to these comments, though? Like, how is someone gonna explain that the address? That's.
Well, she explains it like, oh, I can't wait to see you.
Oh,
and-
just totally just blows
Yeah,
right
she
over
just
it.
blows off.
Just doesn't even acknowledge it. Yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of.
it's like the guys, well, I send you roses,
Yes,
and you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
spend $4,000
yeah,
on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I already sent you $200. Fake $200.
Right. Airmail.
It's somewhere. I don't know where it went.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, eventually she stopped talking to me. You know, I
She thought
kept
she was
on,
getting nowhere.
yeah, I kept on saying good morning. It's like, hey, you want some more money? Here you go.
You know, you were getting her hopes up that whole day. You know that? It's like, yes, I got another sucker.
Yeah, pretty much.
It probably wasn't even a girl.
No, but well, I mean, hopefully she learned her lesson not to be. But she didn't really catch on to
I doubt she
the
did.
subtle.
People like
Maybe I
that.
was too subtle. It's like
People
stop
like
giving out
that
the
are
wrong
good.
email address.
No, now you just made her game even tighter, so now she's going to go back and fix her mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't tell her about the license thing. That was stupid.
She
I
probably
don't
just
know.
got it off the internet.
I don't know, maybe. So the whole thing is, what makes somebody a good catch? It's like, how do you tell on a profile, really, on who's a good catch or not? I mean, what do you look for?
So when I saw your profile, what caught my eye about in your whole thing was you said something about this has worked for my friends. I'm hoping it'll work for me, or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that was like a real statement. Like I felt it. So no, I didn't think you were a douchebag or self-centered or whatever you said earlier. So that stuck out. Or if someone has a picture of them and their dog instead of their shirt off, like someone that doesn't brag about everything that they have. No one likes a bragger. But when you meet somebody, if they have, I wouldn't say what works for me is going to work for somebody else. So what I think are great qualities might be different from the next person. But for myself, the qualities I'm looking for is somebody that's looking for the same things, someone that has the same morals and values.
But you can't really portray that in a profile.
Oh no,
So it's
but
like,
if you're
how do
talking
you-
about like on there, okay, if somebody says that, and I'm not really even deep into politics, but if someone says that they're a Democrat, well, I already know that that's not going to work for me because we have this different values. You know what I mean? So we have different ideas.
Yeah, to me, you don't talk about religion or politics. You're just trying to get to know that person.
Right, right.
And I've known people that have different political views and they're still married.
If they can, not let that get in the way. I mean, I've lost friends just because, I like Trump, they're delete. It's like, okay, well, thank you. Just do me a favor. This is just for me, what weeds out what I think would fit. If somebody is, if they actually say that they're real liberal, like, that's not going to work for me. That's, do I care about the gays or whatever? Yeah, of course my brother's gay. That's not why I don't like the liberals. I just don't like their values. When people put on their that they don't know, like when it says, what are you looking for, relationship, blah, 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 and the ones that say don't know yet, no.
You've had that?
Yeah,
It
that's...
says don't know yet?
Yeah, that's like,
Oh, I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah, that's an option. Yeah.
Well, I get people, and I think this is stupid, where I say that I'm looking for a relationship, and then they ask me, oh, what are you looking for? Well, the same thing I put on my
Right.
profile.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you asking?
Yeah, because they're
It's
probably...
not any different.
Because they're probably not looking for a relationship. They're just looking for a good time.
Well, no, it says
Or
on
they
their
didn't-
profile that they're looking for a relationship. Because I read the profiles, and I have to have something in common in order to relate with them.
Right.
If there's nothing in common, regardless of what you look like,
Right.
I get rid of them.
Yeah. A good smile. That's like the first thing I look at. When they say,
So you
What-
have to have all your teeth.
yeah, absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
no dentures.
Because I like to smile, so I'm hoping that you're gonna smile too. So I want
Oh,
to see
yeah.
pretty teeth. And you have a great smile.
Thanks.
The ones that put that they're still interested in having kids or kids eventually, down there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't put anything.
Oh, yeah, well, that's one of the options. So they put that on there. And, well, I can't have any more kids, nor do I want any more. So, I mean, that, if they're 32, nope.
That's perfect.
No. No. No, we all know what 32-year-olds want, and that's not what I'm looking for.
Now we know what 21-year-olds want. No, I'm just kidding.
If you're close to my child's age, no thank you. Sorry.
It's like it's got to be hard just to weed out. Well, besides looks, I mean, there's a lot of people with bad pictures out there.
Right.
But I don't know. It's once you weed out those people, then there's even a smaller amount of people that you have to choose from, and it's almost like, how do you meet your match if you can't tell what the person's morals are, what their values are?
You don't. You just take a chance. That's
what
what
they're-
first dates are for. You weed them out to, certain ones, and
Well, see, there's women that I went out on a date with, and they weeded me out immediately. Like after, well, not.
Well, they're lost.
I don't want to say immediately, but when we were like at the bar, we're talking about ourselves. We still had some commonality, but I have a lot more things that I do, and it sounded like she had a limited amount of things that she did. And we still got along, but she said, it looks like, we're not going to, it doesn't look like something I want to pursue. And I'm like, why? And it's almost like we didn't have, it's almost like I have to get rid of a lot of my hobbies and have exactly the same thing in common that she does. And do the exact same thing.
But then that's not being yourself, though, and that's not what you're looking for.
No, I mean, that's not what everybody should look for either.
No, and you shouldn't settle.
I mean, she was a salesman of a food company, and I used to work for a food company, so we had that in common. And we can talk shop all day. We can talk business. We can have fun. We can do, she likes to do axe throwing, so do I. And, we had a lot of those things in common. But then once I add, more things like I like to do zip lining, or I like to, what else did I add? Maybe sing or dance, or, as soon as I mentioned the extra things, I was out.
But why do you think?
See, that's the question. So I'm trying to think. I'm thinking that, she's not really interested in watching people sing badly, maybe. She hasn't heard me sing.
No, but okay, so, of course, I'm honest with you about everything.
Yeah.
So because I've had people say that they can sing before, and you're just like, oh Lord. So when you were going to sing to me, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was
you
going to
never
be
do.
like, oh Lord, or what. But then you sang, and I was just like, oh my God, this guy is hot. He can sing. He really can sing. Anyways, but they're not giving you a chance, is all. I mean, they're quick to judge, and that's their loss, and
Well, that's what I get too, because I don't know if you come across this, where, if I say too much, that I do too many things, I come across as a liar. And it almost sounds like people are like that to you. They say certain things just to get into your pants.
Mm-hmm. Or think they can anyways.
And I don't care to get into your pants. I care to have a connection. That's the important thing for me. I don't know. I just work a little bit differently. And I mean, you can listen to all the other podcasts, and they'll say that I'm somebody that's not normal.
I think you're very normal. Or that means that I'm not normal because we're pretty much on the same level. I think we've had some pretty similar experiences, and I think that's, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because if normal is you start sending penis pictures.
No, please don't. Guys, don't ever do that. Girls do not want to see it.
No, I know. But that's just an example. So if that's normal, that's what's out there.
Right.
I'm not normal.
No. Yes. Okay. I get what you're saying.
Right. So I become unusual. So how do I come across as I really do this? In you know.
Just have to wait for the right person to come along to appreciate, you know.
I mean, how do you convince somebody to give you a chance?
Did you have to convince me?
Almost. It almost sounded like you got turned off at some point, but then you still went.
No, I think you're probably just.
What was it?
If you're talking about how we went on our first date and then the next one wasn't until like after the Christmas stuff, is that what you're trying to say?
No, that wasn't it.
Oh.
No, it was something that you said. I mean, when you said that you never get second dates, I was hell bent just to prove you wrong, because we had a good time, and even if I have a good time, they just don't want a second date with me. So I'm like, you know, I don't mean this in a bad way, but I would say, you know, fuck you, we're going out on a second date anyways, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because I had a good time, and it seemed like you had a good time.
I feel like the first date, you know, because I've been on so many first dates, and
I remember what it was.
What?
I know what it was. So this is something that I learned more recently. So my friend Michelle, she's trying to discover what's wrong with me. And she was telling me that usually people want to kiss on the first date. And I've never done that.
Yes.
And nobody's ever really come forward to do that with me. But you know, you actually went for a kiss, and I didn't even expect it.
Well, I asked you for a kiss. Yeah, well, because...
the first one.
Yeah.
And I went in crooked by accident because I wasn't... And then you said, hey, can I have another kiss? And so then I went in. Mm-hmm. And I think that might have been misleading for you. You couldn't figure out what...
Yeah, because... I don't know, you just acted like you were unsure of kissing me, and I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe he just doesn't kiss on the first date, or... I'm like, I just wanted to see if there was something there, because you can tell a lot about them kissing somebody, I think.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, she told me that if you kiss somebody, that tells them whether I would have a second date or not. And I didn't know that. I mean, nobody's ever done that.
Yeah. Well, we do that. Well, at least I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were just unsure of me.
No, I wasn't unsure of you.
No, I mean,
it was
that's
a kiss.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with you.
No. I know, but you explained that. But at that moment, I thought it was me.
Okay.
So, but then you explained that you were just shocked. Because I'm a forward person. You know? I know what I want, and so
yeah, it was just
go for it.
I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's weird because I go above and beyond to figure out, you know, what's the right thing to do. What am I supposed to do here? Because I really don't know what to do. I just want somebody to get to know me. I mean, we don't have to have sex. We don't have to do anything. Let's just have fun. Whether we're having drinks or whether we're singing our ass off, whether we're dancing, that doesn't matter what it is. I want to see that you can have a good time with me.
Yeah, and
without any sexual tension, without anything.
I've never had someone take the time, to be honest, and go out and... I've never had somebody drive an hour just to come on a date with me every single day. So I'm excited. I mean,
Well, see, I had a relationship for
That's-
4 years that I drove 2 hours there and 2 hours back to go to work, and she didn't really give a shit in the end.
oh, see, I so appreciate it because, you know, that old saying, if he wants to, he will. That's the, that's great because I'm used to being the one that gives the all and gets maybe 10% back, and so it's just it's a breath of fresh air that you meet somebody that feels the same way. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
so that's what makes you a good catch because you're all of these things and you continue to surprise me.
Yeah, but
And
if I put that in a profile, it might sound like I'm lying.
probably.
Well, I
But
mean,
yes.
to teach these people.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
How do you get that person that's a good catch for you? I mean, that's the whole idea.
Maybe something clever in it that kind of puts, who you are in a nutshell, I mean,
Yeah,
you're not going to 100% weed out people that aren't, good for you. I mean, it's just a hit or miss.
Yeah, but everybody says be yourself. And if
That's right.
If yourself is a penis picture, then that's what it is.
Yeah, because you know what? There's someone out there that's looking for that,
Right. Yeah.
So I say just continue being yourself. But if that's how you feel on your profile, then put that. But don't.
Yeah, because my first
But
co-host.
keep your shirt on.
Well, no, my first co-host liked to take your shirt off. She likes that kind of thing.
Oh, see, yeah.
And she wants to see the penis picture.
Right,
She wants
exactly.
to see if you're real or not. And she can decide whether she wants to do you or not. That's the
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
but
person
she's-
she is.
But see, that puts her in a different category because she's just looking for sex and stuff like that. Like
No, no,
I'm
she's-
actually looking for a meaningful
Right.
relationship. So
Well, she's looking for sex first and then a relationship second.
right, well, that's not ever going to work.
It works for her.
Well,
And she never has a bad time.
then see, it works for some people. I personally couldn't be like that.
Yeah, I couldn't be like that. Yeah, because me and her were opposites. She was all physical, and I know men are physical because they need that physical connection in order to connect. I just need the opposite. That doesn't mean that I'm feminine,
No,
Or anything?
not at all.
but yeah, there's just certain things that I need that are. And I would just focus in on your needs and just put that in your profile. It's like, you're looking for. I wouldn't go to the negative because I don't know if you've seen profiles.
Oh, and they're negative. Yeah, I'm like swipe.
Like well, see, this is where I delete their profiles. Where if they suggest, I want a man with teeth, I want a man with a car, I want a man with a
Well,
job,
with all their
I wanna-
stuff. Yeah.
right. I want a
Right.
man with their shit together. Well,
Yeah.
that means that they're going to nitpick and maybe complain about other things, and I don't even want to bother.
Right.
I want to know the positive things about you. I want to know what we have in common, what we can have fun with together without having sex. Because that's going to make a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't, I mean, if you're just sleeping together and then see you bye, that's boring.
Yeah. Well, and actually, I can't get all turned on and to have sex with someone I'm not emotionally connected to, anyways.
Yeah, I can't
It's
either.
it's very difficult.
And I know people are going to say I'm lying where I can't. But, no, well, I mean, I've never said this on a podcast, but I can tell the people that are out there, I have nerve damage where I can't feel certain things. So I have to go with my emotions instead of my penis. That's why it's a little bit different for
Yeah.
me.
I get that. Well, I think that's even better. Someone that can give you emotional. The emotional part is
Yeah, because I think the important thing is if if you understand where I'm coming from, and I understand where you're coming from, like if we both had single parents growing up, we have something in common. Well, I don't know how you grew up, but I think the past actually works for you, so you can be sympathetic or empathetic.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
when things go wrong, you're almost on the same page.
Yeah.
Because with couples that have parents that have been together for like 50
Right.
years or
They
more,
don't know.
they've been raised a little bit differently.
Yeah. Oh no, I have all kinds of trauma. so
Well, yeah, so do I.
so
Because of my
I
last
can
relationship.
totally relate, family wise. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You know, I had a mom and a dad in my household until I was 13. And then my mom sent me to live with my biological dad when I was 13 to 15. Traumatic experience for me. And so I can relate on a lot of stuff with that. He was abusive and alcoholic and all that kind of stuff.
Well, so then you discovered what you really wanted, or what you didn't want.
Oh, absolutely. But for some reason, I would continue to attract alcoholics. So I had to continue working on myself and seeing red flags. And once you see the red flag, just don't even turn towards it. So that helped. But anyways, yeah. And after that, I did. It was a single parent. I was with my mom, and she had a boyfriend, and then another boyfriend, and we would move and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like my mom, where she had a boyfriend and then another boyfriend. We would move.
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah.
it's almost the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So would you be on your own a lot of times, where your mom wasn't home and you had to kind of raise yourself, sort of?
No, my mom was always home. She didn't ever go out. She's a hermit. I will say that. She was always, like, there. She was always on the couch with a headache, but she was there. But never did stuff with me, Never. The only one memory I have of her and I, like, a bonding moment, was when we were moving from Colorado to Arizona. The car ride there.
Oh, you got to talk to her.
Yeah, we kind of bonded, but that's the only time I can recall, But I had older sisters, and I had a baby brother that could never do no wrong. So
Oh, he's the baby.
yeah, he's the baby and the only boy. So, but yeah, I did see a lot of stuff that I don't want in my life.
So would you say you grew up faster than other people?
I had to. I was a mom at 18, so absolutely I had to. So it's exciting now not having any children because they're all grown up. So now I can try and enjoy my time that I should have been enjoying when I was 18.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I grew up pretty quick. Yeah, my mom wasn't home a lot, so my mom gave us minimal amount of money to go grocery shopping for ourselves. And yeah, because she always bought TV dinners, and I got sick of those really quick. So I made it a point to learn how my grandmother cooked, and so that's how I learned how to cook. People won't believe me that I know how to sing, I know how to cook.
Oh, you do. I
know
can
how to do all
contest to
kinds
that.
of things.
Great cook, great singer. Great at a lot of things. This makes you a good catch.
But nobody would know, because nobody
Thank God,
would
though.
give you a chance.
Thank goodness. Honestly.
I don't know. I always thought that I was. I got the impression that I wasn't cute enough or wasn't attractive.
Oh, you're very attractive.
But no, well, because I keep on going back to a bunch of dates. Like this one date, as soon as she saw me, she goes, "Oh, sorry, I gotta leave."
That's awful.
And I'm like, really?
I don't know why she would say that,
I
though.
made reservations at the Cheesecake Factory. Why don't we just talk and have fun? You'll get a free dinner out of it. She's like, no, sorry to waste your time. I'm leaving. So she came all the way there to tell me that.
Was she hot, at least?
No, she didn't look like her picture. She looked older. It looked like she used a filter on her face. But I didn't care. I wanted to learn who she was.
Right.
And she didn't, people like that, it just doesn't give me a chance. It's like, okay, I'm a big liar. No, it makes me think like, I have no teeth and a pot belly and one of those grandpas that have white hair and a big ZZ Top beard when I'm just totally the opposite. It's, I'm trying to make sense of things that don't make sense.
Right. Well, that would be like...
It's like for 4 years I have to put up with that kind of thing, and it just didn't. I didn't know. I don't know how.
starts to wear on you.
Yeah, you get discouraged.
Yep.
You try to figure out. Okay, so what's wrong with me? So that's why the whole big thing of my friends trying to figure out what's wrong with me, and
And that's funny, because that's what I always tell my friends and my family. What's wrong with me?
yeah.
What's wrong with me that I'm still by myself?
And my buddy Steve knows a lot about me, and he thinks I'm a great guy. And my friend Carol, we grew up together since we were 14 and 15. And she knows a lot about me. She knows a lot about my trauma. And then there's Michelle. Michelle, we go back when I was 14, 15. But then we lost, I guess she was in a traumatic relationship for a long time with her husband. It's almost like the same thing that you went through. So you two can relate quite a bit. We just got reacquainted because I never go to the reunions and everybody's yelling at me, why don't you come, Brian? And I knew everybody, but it's almost like everybody didn't know me. Because once they got into their cliques, they're like, we don't know Brian. We just want to be either a stoner or a jock or part of the Key Club, or we want to be a nerd. And I was a part of all those groups.
Me too. I was not. I was friends with every clique.
Yeah, it's like I knew how to play chess. I was on the football team for a little bit, and it wasn't a challenge for me, so I got out of it. I knew a lot of the people. I mean, I can think with the great people that do the school newspaper, and I can draw with the best of them with the art club, and I mean I can do all kinds of things. But I didn't belong into any clique, which made me an outcast, which is weird. So, but individually, if I got them alone by themselves, they knew who I was. And they talked to me and stuff like that. But it was just weird.
Just exactly like me. That's so wild.
Oh my God, really? Oh, just kidding.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of things and why people are so. I don't know. It's like I don't know what to call it. Why do people push other people away and don't give them a chance? So, because I see a lot of people nitpick on little things when they're not perfect themselves. Like they want somebody with a perfect set of teeth when they don't have a perfect set
Right.
of teeth themselves,
Right.
kind of thing. Or I got fun of for because I had 3 cars at the time where I dated this one girl. I had one of those smart cars. And this lady wouldn't date me because she goes, I'm not getting into that thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll get my other car. It's a lot bigger, and you'd be comfortable in my Cadillac over here. It wasn't really a Cadillac, but it was an SUV that was pretty big. Because, I use my smart car just to travel. I mean, I
Right.
hate to keep on putting gas in it, and it's a pain in the butt if you're traveling 4 hours here or 8
Right.
hours over there, or I'm not taking an SUV that's like 19
Right.
miles to the gallon. Really? And it's just me. I don't care.
She got into your car on a first date?
No, she
Oh.
didn't.
Oh, she didn't.
No, that was the end of the date. That was it. It's like, I'm not getting into that thing, and that was it.
Oh my gosh. So, and then you just, you did yourself a favor. I mean, she was just, she wasn't looking for what you were looking for, or she wouldn't have been so shallow. So,
So how many shallow hells are there out in the world?
oh my god. So many. So many,
Or how many people are there where they say to you, what can you offer me?
I've never had someone say that to me. Have you had someone say that to you?
No, it's almost like, it comes across that way.
Oh,
Like that one date that I went on, I think that's on my third podcast, where I call it the Melt Girl, because I went out with her and I went to Melt, the restaurant, and then afterwards she wanted to go to Old Navy.
oh,
And
that.
Yeah, she tried on all these outfits, and then she bought her own outfit, and then later on, she didn't want to date me because I didn't buy her any clothes. And I'm like, okay.
So I think like the media might have a lot to do with it, because like all these reality shows, like the guy's supposed to be taking care of the woman, like they need to look in the mirror. These are people on TV look a lot better than they do.
Yeah, but there's courting involved. There's
yeah, but they don't.
drinks. There's laughing. There's sharing common things.
I think that some of these women, they might be looking, I mean, I've known some of these women that they're just looking for the next person to support them. I have a girl that I work with, and she has a boyfriend, but she's also on sugardaddy.com or whatever, and she goes to dinner with these guys just so that she could get some money. It's like, I mean, I think they do it for different reasons,
Yeah, I know a girl that has a couple of sugar daddies. Well, I wouldn't say sugar daddies. It's like these guys send her gifts on occasion, or anything that.
Is she an influencer?
No.
No, okay. Then they're sugar daddies.
Well, she is on a radio show. I mean, she doesn't make a lot of money. She's okay looking, and she's got a good head on her shoulders. But everybody would benefit with somebody with a connection, with somebody that can relate, with somebody that would give you the full package of everything that you need.
If only that person was out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's I try to teach people how to find that person, and I don't know. It's almost like if you want to send I keep on going back to this one. If you want to send a dick pic out to people, eventually somebody's going to grab at it. But you have to keep on trying it. You have to do the same thing over and over again. If that's your thing, if that's who you're looking for,
Right.
yeah, is somebody to be excited about your penis, and that's it.
Right.
Is that all you're really worth? That's what I got to tell myself. It's like, no.
No, I think it's, I think it'll just happen when it happens. I don't think there's...
I don't believe that. I mean, you have to make it happen.
No, I mean, you continue doing what you're doing, and one day you'll, hopefully come across it. Like,
That's almost like fate.
I mean, call it fate, but you're still putting in the effort,
Or people call it the numbers game, maybe.
I think I've heard of that, the numbers game. Which makes sense. You knock on 100 doors, one's bound to answer.
Yeah. It's like at one point I just wanted somebody to actually read my profile and reiterate, okay, this is what we're both looking for. But, even on your end, people don't read my profile. It's like, what are you looking for? Oh, it's on my profile. It says relationship. You didn't read it? I mean, there's other things that they didn't read that I just. It's almost like it's laughable.
Well,
I mean,
I feel like that the girls are a little more ruthless. It sounds like than
no,
the
it's
men.
on both ends. No, it's on both ends equally. I've learned. Yeah, because women say that men don't read profiles. They just look at boobs and see if you're attractive, and then they swipe.
Yeah, I feel like that's what guys do too. I tried hard not to show any boob in my pictures.
I try to.
There
show
wasn't any
cleavage.
sexy ones in there, was there? No, there wasn't any.
I
didn't have any
there
provocative
was.
ones.
Oh yeah, there was.
No,
Yeah, there was.
No,
There's a
there's
picture
nothing showing
of the
cleavage.
cameras like above your head.
Yes, I'm in the
and
bathroom.
You
Yes.
had a red dress.
Yes,
with
but you
showing,
can't see cleavage.
showing lots of cleavage.
No, you couldn't see cleavage.
And I'm like, ooh.
I mean,
look
I
at
have
that.
big boobs, but I don't think you could see cleavage. Because
No.
I didn't want people to look at that.
You
But
had
I wasn't
lots
going to
of
wear.
cleavage.
Well, I know, but I wasn't going to wear like a
But you were
sweater.
wearing a nice outfit.
Yes, thank you.
And I thought, ooh, she can dress up and go out.
Yes, I can.
So that was good. Yeah, you don't meet a lot of people that can dress nicely and go out. At the same time, I can take them hiking.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
I'm-
for me.
I'm
That's a
different
good
too.
balance. I need that balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need somebody to punch me in the face at the same time. Scratch my back, kind of thing. Yeah, keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. Someone that makes you laugh, that's very important.
Yeah,
Someone
because
that can communicate,
your balance for me was, I can remember your face. It's like you're sitting really close to me like this, and you're like, seriously, when's our next date? And then you had that look, like, don't be lying to me. We better have another date. And I'm
Did
like,
that come off needy?
no, that's the punch in the face. That's a good balance, as well as you can have a good time,
Yes.
and as well as just give me what do you need. It's not a bad thing.
Okay.
It's like, believe me, we're gonna have another date. And you're like, no, I don't believe you. No, you gave me that kind of face where you don't.
Oh.
You didn't really say it.
Oh, I just gave you that look.
Yeah,
Like, okay, you better.
yeah, you had that straight face. I'm like, okay, what's wrong? So I knew there was something there, like maybe you already alluded to the fact you don't get second dates.
Yep.
Too late. So this will end this episode, and we'll see you next time. Bye.